Yo people, hope all is blessed. And oh my god, this feels weird. This feels really weird. We're back. We're back, so I can say. Unfortunately, last year, things got extremely busy for me, and Will's Way was like such a priority for me last year. And it started to gain some really good traction. So love to everyone that's still here. We started to get, we got to 150 subscribers quite quickly. But there's a good reason we've been away for a long period of time. Like, my business last year just taken off, and I ended up working extremely busy. Owning a business is one of the most life-changing events of my whole entire life. It's taught me so much about myself, about the marketplace, the business world, and yeah, the reason why I had to stop the videos is because I had so many sort of tasks to delegate for the business and music as well, which was very busy last year. But we're back now, and of course I'm here, and I'm so happy to be here. I've got some incredible content for you. Obviously, this is getting recorded at a very weird time and space. A lot of people are seeing this as quite a negative thing, but I see it as an extreme positive thing. I believe the year of 2020 is the great awakening for a lot of people. I think a lot of people are going to come into more of a spiritual awakening this year. I have high hopes for people learning from this experience and actually using what they learn to better their life when we come out of this. So obviously now I've got a little bit more time to be able to do more videos, more content. I'm going to film a lot of stuff for you that I've learned in the last year or so. I thought best way to start this off again is to do a Q&A, and I asked on my Instagram, I asked my Facebook some questions, and I got a lot of great questions. Unfortunately, I can't do them all, but I've picked the best 10. So we're going to go through these questions as well. First off, before we go through these questions, I want to do a bit of a life update of where I'm at, sort of where I left you guys last time and what's changed since. My engineering business has done extremely well. We smashed sales last year to a record year. So success-wise, in terms of business, it's been brilliant because I've learned so much with it, which is actually going to allow me to create some more content from the stuff I've learned. And I've read a lot of books as well that help me get to that state of mind to be able to keep a very profitable and a very busy business going. Unfortunately, right now, due to the situation, I've had to go furlough. I've had to because a large percentage of my customers can't have anyone in site, and what I do is very customer orientated, and I have to go to site to be able to test. So this small period of time when I'm off, I'm going to be able to create a lot of content. I'm going to be able to learn about myself and create a lot more stuff, beneficial stuff for you guys as well. And also, it's a time to learn, man. It's a time to learn. I'd say the first week or so when I found out this was all happening, and I had quite a few customers call me to explain their situation on site, I felt like I was dying inside. I had the worst anxiety, man. I can't explain to you. I'm a very spiritual person. I meditate every day, and I was, in a really good place at the time. But when I started to, get the news that this world was changing and it was going to affect my business, I had a real bad attachment to it, and it taught me a lot about my attachment to my work as well. I found that now that I was probably a little bit too attached to my business and attached to the successes that made it, you know what I mean? And I think it's always very good. You've got to be mindful. You've got to care about what you're doing, of course. But becoming too attached to something can be very detrimental, because when, or for whatever reason, if there's an external event or outcome that starts to take that away from you, you can start to feel that you're losing something and you're losing yourself. And that taught me a lot that week. You know what I'm saying? After I see where the attachment was and what was making me feel that anxious, I started to reflect inside and inwards. You know what I'm saying? So it's been an incredible year, and obviously the last month or so has been flipped literally on top of itself. I know a lot of people are struggling right now as well, so hopefully I can have some words of wisdom to make you sort of see the equivalent benefit to all of this. So without further ado, I'm going to get into the 10 questions. That was a little update of where we're at. We're going to try to do a video every single week, baby. Come on. We're going to do one every sort of Sunday, but this will be dropped on Monday. Purely because I was going to drop it today, but I wanted to give this a bit more time. I wanted to write the questions down. I wanted to have a little bit more of a think about it. I wanted to come back with a little bit more, more study and a little bit more planning. So we're going to drop this on Monday, but then from that point, every single video will drop every Sunday. I'm going to do one a week. and I've got plenty of great content for you. So let's get into the 10 questions. Let's get it. Right, question 1. This was an interesting question. What do you think of COVID-19? Okay. My thoughts on this whole pandemic. Obviously, this virus is very real. People are dying from it. But one thing that I do believe has been taken out of proportion is the media. And you have to understand the media has always got a narrative to be able to create fear among the people. And it always has done it. Like, look at across the last 10 years in terms of every pandemic that's happened. Look across how they sort of put a magnifying glass on negative news and never really portray anything positive. That's what the narrative of the news is supposed to do. It's supposed to put us in that fearful state. And, you know, I think, to be fair, like, we need to turn off the TV set sometimes, man. Like, and not even that, like, there's a lot of the time now, like, even on your phone, you'll find, like, when you go swipe left, and if you've got an iPhone for that, man, you swipe left, you'll see that the news app is right at the top. Why is that? Straight away, it always gives you this, like, headline of, like, some negative news. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy because it subconsciously plants these ideas in our head. And we need to try, as people, like, end of the day, we live in this technical era. We can't avoid, like, we need to have smartphones. We need to do, you know, we need to have these things for our lives to run in this world. But what we can do is minimize how much news we see. So that's turning off these news feeds in your spotlight bar. It's making sure you don't dive into social media and ever going down a loophole and scrolling through all this negative stuff that's not really going to serve you any purpose for the future. So one thing I do know, that this has been completely utterly taken out of proportion to the extremes of, you know, real fear-inducing news, and it's working a lot. A lot of people are getting very worried. A lot of people, you know, are extremely living this fear complex, which is actually, you know, causing your immune system to get worse. It is, you know. We need to be living in a calm and a serene state for our bodies to be able to heal. You know, that's what meditation does for us. So one thing I do think, you know, it has been taken completely out of proportion. Whether every single figure and status is real is a very different story. Like, I can't give you the answer to that. But one thing I would say that you can do is not ingest and focus your attention on the fear aspect of this virus. Like, I think we need to obviously be very careful in what we're doing. But at the same time, we need to be able to find a positive out of this situation, because looking at the negative things is only going to create and manifest more negative circumstances in your life. You know, if you can use it as a positive thing and start to learn more and use this time to search inwards, we can start to actually really develop and understand who we are. Do you know what I mean? And also, like, this for me has, like, been a crazy element, because look at the way the world is before this pandemic. Look at the way we consume. You know, we consume, we buy. We don't really save a lot of money. Like, a large percentage of the people, you know, within the UK are in debt, have credit cards, store agreements. We want everything before it's even here. And that's a very vicious place to be in. Do you know what I'm saying? Because if we're constantly wanting things before we even had the right or deserve these things to pay for them, it creates this horrible automatic consumerism drive in your brain that you can have these things before you even have the money to buy them. And that's very dangerous, right? Because that creates an automatic response to us wanting more all of the time. And when a crisis like this happens, everyone's like, oh my God, I've got no money. I've got no money to see us through. So I think we all should have, you know, personally, I think we should all have reserves of savings somewhere. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, for times like this, and investments as well. You know what I'm saying? So we should always be looking like, do we actually need to buy this product? Why are we buying this product, and what's the reason for buying this product? Like, you know, the thing is with products, they always try to sell you on the basis of buying it, which is going to make you feel better, or it's going to be able to create some value in your life. But in order to do that, they need to make you feel like you need it. You know what I'm saying? So that is always put in the media by trying to make us feel inferior to what we already are. Like, in essence, we are divine human beings, man. We've got everything we need to be happy already. So we need to start to detach from these attachment and materialistic, egotistical side of things, and start to look inside of us to understand that we can feel happy and be happy, and, you know, have that self-love for ourselves rather than the self-hate to think we need to buy something to make us better, which is bullshit. Question 2. What is my favourite song I've ever made? This for me, like across all of my EPs and everything I've ever done, my favourite song I've ever made is Stop Calling Me Bro. And the reason why is because when I listen back to that song, I can see and feel an emotion inside of me that is so raw, so real, so crazy. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was just so real in this song, and I was, you know, completely, utterly wrapped up into this emotion of actually expressing myself, you know what I mean? And I ain't done that in a long time, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I need to go back to them times where I could express myself. But the song is about certain people and their intentions with you, you know what I'm saying? And when you start to realise like people's intentions are not all that great. And I think everyone will go through this in life where they'll have a friend they've known from school, or they'll know, you know, have someone who was their best friend, or some people that they was emotionally attached to when we was growing up in our teenage years. And when we start like to put some negative emotions from them, we start to question, why is this? We kind of like subconsciously hide the fact that it's happening. But then when we start to look at it from a logical explanation, we start to actually understand, Jesus, these guys don't really have our best interests at heart. Do you know what I mean? And it can be very painful. And that is a song that describes that pain that I had. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's really real, it's really raw. And I think everybody can relate to this song. That's the reason why I did so well, because I think everyone can relate to a friend they've known before that has not always had the best intentions at heart, and they've had to somehow detach from that situation. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, my favourite song I've ever made, purely on the reason that I could actually express myself in such a real way, and the content is so relatable, is Stop Calling Me Bro. Right, question number 3. What is my favourite genre of music to make? So yeah, a lot of you, if you have listened to my music, will know I'll release a body of work that will contain hip-hop, grime, trap of music, R&B, auto-tune songs, a lot of different type of genres of songs. So it's a good question really, but I'd say my favourite type of genre is like a fast trap style. So when I'm rapping fast, so my Black Box freestyle was very fast and octane. Success, a music video I did on JDZ Media, that was really high octane, fast energy. Another track called Ghost from the new EP on Link Up TV, that was really fast, high octane as well. I'll leave all of these links in the description as well if you want to check them out to see what I'm talking about. But yeah, high octane, fast rap, like some really good positive lyrics in there as well. If you check all 3 songs, there's a lot of gems I like to put in this music to try to influence a positive role in my music as well. So I'd say fast trap is definitely the genre I like to make the most. Who's my inspiration and why? So I can cut this down to 2 things, because I think the question was intended for music, but there's obviously other inspirations in my life as well that's not just music related. So music related, my inspiration would be J. Cole. He is one of the realest artists I've ever listened to, and I've listened to him from his early days, from Colwell, from Friday Night Lights, from the early stuff he made. And one thing that really resonated with me with him was his content and what he used to make. He would just create these incredible songs. I'm not sure what the song's called now. He did a song where he was talking about a pregnant lady from her perspective and a guy who just made her pregnant, and the battle between keeping this baby, and it was just so like powerful. I need to find a title for that song, you know. Sorry, I apologise, I don't know the song. But just examples like that where he would keep like real insightful trueness inside of his music, and he'd express it in a beautiful way. And that inspired me to be able to create real music, because I'm not dissing any music that hasn't really got concepts or anything around, because I've made music like that as well. But I believe there is a lot of negative music out there nowadays that subconsciously is not really doing us any good. His success shows as well that you can still be a positive impact and be highly successful as well. So he would be my music inspiration. My inspiration for life in general recently has been Dr. Joe Dispenza. And if you've not checked out this guy's work, check him out. He's incredible. He took me for my spiritual journey from here to here. And he's very scientific in the way he explains it, which I love. Because a lot of the time when you see like spiritual people, they'll talk about this stuff and law of attraction. They'll talk about, you know, how you know, it can help you and sort of improve your life, but they won't really ever go into the science of it. And this guy has ticked every single box, crossed every single T in terms of the science of describing what our chakras are, what our energy centers are, how they can help us create a new reality in our life, and how they can actually create this beautiful, blissful state of being here in this moment, right now, and we can actually start to enjoy life a lot more. So yeah, I would say he would be my #1 inspiration for that as well. Right, now question number 5. What ways can we stay positive at the moment? So there's a lot of ways we can stay positive right now. I mean, one thing, #1 would definitely be turn off the news. Stop watching the news profusely. Like, only watch updates when you need to watch the updates in terms of what's going on with the government. Obviously follow guidelines, try to social distance as much as possible, because we don't know really the extent of this virus and the damage of it yet, even though I do think it's been blown out of proportion. But yeah, get all negative news off. Only focus on positive stuff right now. Your attention should only be on improving. Anyone that is furloughed or not working at the minute, try to learn a new skill. This is so important. Get a new book. Get like a book like To Think and Grow Rich could really, really improve your life right now, regardless of whether you work for someone or not. Like, I think honestly, knowledge right now, it should be doubled down on. We've got more time than ever. So let's actually try to improve ourselves. And what a lot of people will find here, if they do it the right way, if they start to improve themselves and read some good books right now, they'll come out the other end of this and actually think, wow, what am I actually doing in my career at the moment? I don't even like what I'm doing. And they'll have a lot of realization that they may be on the wrong path of life anyway. So there's a lot of other things that can be done. Like meditation is a great way to calm your body, calm your mind, get into that nice, cool place. And what I do suggest for any beginners, don't dive straight deep into the technical stuff. Follow someone like Dr. Joe Dispenza and just watch a few videos on it and just understand how simple it can be, because honestly, it's so simple when you really break it down. Exercise once per day. Make sure you go out for a run, even a walk in nature. They can really help you and your natural physical body. You know what I mean? It's good. You got to look after your body right now as well, because obviously, if you look after your body, you look after your immune system. So if the virus does come for you, you've got all the tools you need to be able to fight it off easy. You know what I mean? Yeah, and gratitude as well. We got to show more gratitude. Like, now I think the whole world is more grateful for everything right now. Of course we are. Like, we can't go anywhere, so we're like grateful for the smallest things that we were so unmindful about before. So gratitude is a great time now to test and just be grateful for everything you've got. You've got family, if you've got, you know, partners, you've got children. Be grateful for that and embody that gratefulness. So yeah, they're the things we can do right now to help us keep more positive, you know what I mean? Question number 6, when does my baby arrive? So baby boy is coming on the 28th of May. So yeah, he's going to be a baby born straight into coronavirus. And do you know what? What a beautiful story to be able to tell a little man when he gets older, to say, you know, you were born in the most craziest times. And do you know what? Any baby born in this physical plane in 2020 is going to be so resilient. Like, these are absolute miracle babies in terms of a spiritual point of view, because they were born in a time and place where, like, this great awakening has now happened. A lot more people will awaken this year. 2020 is a very special year for everybody. So yeah, I can't wait. I'm so excited for him to be here. I'm so excited to meet the 3rd addition to my family. And I love children. I love kids. I just can't wait. I just really can't wait. I've got this beautiful feeling inside of me right now, this gratitude, that I just can't wait to meet my boy, you know what I mean? It's going to be it's such a blessing right now. So yeah, 28th of May, he will be here. So we don't really know where we're going to be like next month or what the situation is. But do you know what? Me and Kylie are taking it day by day. And she's such an inspiration, you know. She's pregnant right now and she's the most positive. Like, I'm drawing positivity from her. So I am just in total love with her. For always have been, but just even more so right now, for just dealing with this situation in such a positive way. Do you know what I mean? Love you, babe. So, question number 7. What was my most memorable moment in music? I would say there's three moments here, which I'll break down. The first moment was I got booked for my first festival, which was the Baz Art Festival. And that was alongside some great artists. Like, I met Coins, incredible London artist, Lavelle London as well, an incredible London artist. I was performing alongside some Norwich greats like Watts, Myself was obviously performing as well. So we met some cool people, and it was such a busy event as well. It was the biggest venue that I've ever played, and it was a bit of a pinnacle really. I think when we got booked for that was a bit of a pinch myself moment. It's like, wow, I've actually got booked for my first festival. Do you know what I mean? And it was an incredible day. It was a whole day festival. The performances were so sick. So that's number one, I'd say. Number two would be getting radio play on BBC. I've had probably about 10 tracks played on radio. So every single time that, you know, one did get played, it was a beautiful feeling, because it was like, you know, this music's resonating with people that, you know what I mean, are higher up, actually broadcasting it to the airways, to the people. I think radio has always been something we've dreamed of as artists to be able to get on. So I'd say getting radio play is definitely up there with the first one. And the third one would be getting 100,000 streams on 2222, my last EP. So that was an incredible moment for me. It was a really good year for music last year. Like, we released some really good songs. You know what I mean? Streams went crazy as well, and had a great reception. So I feel like we're growing. You know what I mean? We're in the grow years last year, but getting to that 100,000 mark was an absolute blessing, and it was like a great feeling. Like, just looking at on the screen, just looking at that figure was incredible for me. So yeah, 100%. They would be my three most memorable moments, I'd say. What is my job? Now, I get this a lot, right? A lot of people are like, oh, well, are you a full-time musician? Or, like, no, that is not the case. I'm not a full-time musician. I juggle a lot in my life. I'm a busy guy, but you know, I wouldn't have it any other way, you know what I'm saying? So, well, my business, my engineering business, consists of me going over to customer manufacturers, so production lines that create, for example, food sites, pasta sites. It can range from chemical sites as well. So anything that produces any product generally have a lot of machinery to take that product from start to finish. And in terms of creating a product from start to finish, it goes through a process. And this process has loads of different machinery that actually be able to get it from A to B. But any point between A and B, any of this machinery that fails between these points creates downtime, and downtime in manufacturing is absolutely astronomical in terms of cost. So companies have to be running 24/7 to be able to create high profitable profits. So what I do is I test these machines in between A and B, and I give reports on their condition. So that will tell the customers whether they need to create this pre-planned maintenance so they don't fail in runtime. So once they fail in runtime, they create extreme losses in terms of downtime. But if they plan this in, from my help with these reports, they can save thousands of pounds. And last year, we saved millions of pounds for our customers in terms of the reports we did. We've got plenty of case studies. My business is called Maintain Condition Monitoring, and you never know, a few viewers might be some engineering managers, so if you'd like to check me out, check me out. But you know, you never know, it's a small world. But I love my job, I love what I do. It's something that I've been involved with for years. I've been in engineering for 10 years, you know. So I studied at college, I did a lot of years at college as well. So I've worked my bum off, you know what I mean, getting to where I've been and to be able to create a business right now. And it's been highly successful. Unfortunately, right now, I have been furloughed, so I'm now obviously doing some stuff from home. But yeah, I'm hoping when we go back to work, I can bring some more stuff I've learned in this period to the workplace as well. So that's what I do for my main job, and that is my business. And obviously I do music as well. That's something as well that we do make a little bit of money from. And a lot of people do ask me, what would you prefer to do? And you know what, like, I love both. I love doing what I do. Like, obviously doing music full time would be a dream as well. Do you know what, I'm not putting all eggs in one basket right now. I'm just seeing where life takes me, and I'm just taking every day as it comes. I've got goals in music, I've got goals in my business, and what I plan to do is be able to achieve them all. At the start of the year, we were trying to get someone employed for my business that was doing so well, but obviously now we're in a bit of a standstill, so we're gonna have to wait this out to see what happens. But yeah, that's what I basically, in a nutshell, do for a job. It may not be too exciting, but it's something I do enjoy very much. Right, do I have any phobias? Not really, no. I'm not, no, I don't really, but when I was younger I did. So I'll tell you about when I was younger. I used to have this horrible phobia of heights. So when I used to be able to look up at buildings when I was little, I used to get these funny tingly feelings in my feet. I had to conquer this fear, right? Because when I started my business, there was one customer. It was one of the first customers I got, which was like such a godsend, because at the time I was struggling. But when I got this customer, I remember being shown outside, and he took me higher and higher up in this lift, and he took me across this big gantry, and this big gantry was like, you get the mesh floors, the metal mesh floors, you can literally just see below, and this is high. I do this customer regularly, now I just run across like there's no issue or no problem. But I remember first being taken across this gantry, and honestly, my bum was in my throat. And the customer even asked me, "Are you scared of heights?" I had to point blank lie and say no. But do you know what? It forced me to get over that phobia. Do you know what I mean? And this is what I think all phobias are. If you want to get over something, you just got to put yourself in that moment and understand that nothing can hurt you. And once you get over that realization, the phobia goes. Also, when I was younger, like, frogs used to weird me out. Like, the thought of touching a slimy frog was really like, ugh. I don't know whether that's a phobia or not, but yeah, it's kind of weird, like frogs and slimy things, you know what I mean, like snakes as well. I never used to really like, my friend used to have snakes when he was little, and I never used to see like the infatuation of a snake, it just used to sit there and, it could like eat you or bite you, you know what I mean? Right, gone down now to the last question, question 10. What is the most inspirational book I've ever read? Now, I can't pin this down to one book. I'm going to do a separate video actually on this and go into more detail about the books that really changed my life and the ones to really read, you know what I mean, in terms of my point of view. But just to give you a quick overview of the 4 that really did like change something in my life. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. That was the first book I actually picked up, which completely changed my perception on everything. It gives you a real insight that becoming wealthy is a process that we can all actually embody. We can all get it. Like, a lot of people, I think, believe you have to be special to become wealthy, which is a load of crap. You know what I mean? You need to work hard, no doubt. That's one ingredient needed. But you need to have the belief. And that's what really changed my concepts in terms of knowing. It's the belief, knowing that you can have something. Once you start to change that, you can become anything. Which leads me on to the next book, which is The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. Incredible book. Like, before I read this book, I was doing a lot of things wrong in terms of attracting wealth. Massively. But when I read the book, I applied these techniques, and instantly, within 2-3 months, results started to tenfold. That's how influential this book is. And I'll go into more detail about the techniques I use from that book to be able to create more of abundance of wealth. And not just wealth either, not just money, more of abundance of love, more of abundance of attracting the right people into your life as well. The Laws of Human Nature, oh my God, this is a beast of a book. It's massive, but this book here was incredible in terms of explaining how human beings like react to each other. And knowing this information on a customer point of view in terms of trying to influence people is just so valuable. Knowing this information as well in terms of trying to influence like new fans to become music fans is just absolutely vital as well. So this book can apply to anything you're doing in your life, and like if anybody, like, this should be taught at schools, 100%. If these just 4 books were in curriculum, mate, I swear to God, the world would be a different place. But the thing is, we can't rely on curriculum, man. We can't rely on schools to teach our children. And I'll tell you that now. We need to be able to like get the best information that's helped us and actually give that to our children as well. Like, it's going to give, school and curriculum is going to give our children basic needs of understanding knowledge. But all the school does is cram kids with information to be memorized. And it doesn't really promote making mistakes, man. Like, we learn from mistakes. Nothing else. Like, if you made a mistake in school, you'd actually get told off. So what that actually does is actually hold our children back. Because in real life, if no one takes a risk, if no one is going to want to take a risk, because if they do and they fail, they're going to feel bad for it. No one's going to live, man. No one's going to get to where they need to go. Mistakes are what make us us. You know what I mean? So this is why I'm an advocate to teach these books as well, and I'm even putting little techniques in my children. You know what I'm saying? Like Ava Lily, she's 8. She understands about law of attraction. She understands about, in terms of learning from mistakes, and it's okay to make a mistake. And even my boy Miley, he's like 4, and I'm slowly integrating this stuff in as well, if you know what I mean. It's so important, you know what I mean? The last book I'd say is Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. That book was like, for me, at a time when I was trying to learn how to meditate properly, explained absolutely everything that I needed to be able to meditate from start as a beginner and start taking it to real higher levels in terms of creation and manifestation. And do you know what? I'm still on a journey with that. You know, I've only just really read this book probably 3 months ago, and it was just such an eye-opener, really. So anyone who's looking to really change their lives, man, all of these books can do something for you. So we're at the end of the video, man. I'm blessed to be back. Thank you so much for watching. Honestly, it means the world to me. Yeah, first video back from a long break, but I'm back now, and I promise I'm here to stay. I'm here to help the people. I'm here to love and send my love around the world as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm a divine human being with this abundance of love that I need to get out there, and information that I need to get out there. So if you do like this content, please leave a comment below. Please subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you with the Will's Way family. Come on. And yeah, people, honestly, right now it is a testing time, but remember, we can get through this. Our bodies, our whole demeanor, our whole life are designed to get through these times. So please, people, remember, stay safe, stay blessed, stay positive, and keep meditating, man. That's going to be a big factor in all of this. So I love, people. Catch up with you next week.
You can never stop my wave. You can never stop my wave, no. Every single day I pray. Every single day I pray.